back.
The Green Bay is running. Bobby, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Fins Talk. Today on the Fins Talk Sports Network, I'm your host, Bobby Fins Talk. That's my co-host, Fish Tank Hank, the one and only Fish Tank.
Hey,
Hank, how you doing, brother?
Fins up, man. It's a great weekend. I mean, all those smashes in the mouth to all these teams in the East. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, I was living it up. And now we come to this weekend, and notice I'm dressed in white today. So I am riding the White Knight train, and I'm taking Brightline down. I'm going to give that a swing and see how that works. The train, just in case people don't know what Brightline is, it is the new train system, the high-speed train that goes from Orlando takes you down to the game. So my wife and I are going to give that a shot. It winds up being about the same as gas, driving, the amount almost identical to staying in a hotel overnight as far as what it costs.
That's all. I'm really excited to hear how it goes, because I saw that when I was coming back from Miami, or after the game, I saw the Brightline where people were waiting, and I was like, man, I want to find out about that, because that's pretty cool. You can fly into Orlando, enjoy Orlando, then take the Brightline down to South Florida. I'm looking forward to hearing your experience.
It does cost, though. It is pricey.
You said, what is it, $475? You said, right?
Yeah,
round trip.
Might as well say $500. $500 for two people on the smart fare to go down for the game and back.
One day.
On game day.
Wow. Okay.
So, and then they take a shuttle from the train. They give you a shuttle, which is basically a bus, and they bus you right over to where the Uber drop-off is at the stadium, which is the southeast corner. You walk over the bridge, and then you're entering the southeast corner of the stadium. We decided to try it because we saw everybody leaving the southeast corner, and then we couldn't get a room in our usual hotel. So I said, okay, I can't get a room, so let me try to do something else, and we decided to try the Brightline. So we're going to give that a shot and see how it goes. I think we'll have a great time, though. It's still a 3-hour ride down, a 3-hour ride back, so I'm not saving any time by the time I drive to the Orlando airport.
But you get to kind of relax. You don't have to kind of focus on the road. You can just close your eyes, take a little nap here and there. That's the good thing.
That's what'll be nice on the way back home. So
for sure,
there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah, hey, no doubt. Aladino in the house. Great to see you. Hammer Time, Chris, Julian in the house. Chef Drew, great to see all of you. Fins up. What's good, everyone? Thank you all for tuning in again. Fins Talk today on the Fins Talk Sports Network. So much to talk about. The Dolphins, they are off their bye. It's crazy to think that a team could win on their bye, but the Dolphins did that with the way last week went for the Dolphins. You go into this week, you're going against the Raiders, the 31st ranked offense, the 18th top defense in football. They did win the last two games, but if you're a Dolphins fan, you got to feel pretty damn good where you're sitting right now. Because right now, this, to me, Fish Tank, the bye week, starting this second half of the season, it's the playoff stretch now. This is the playoff run. Miami, we feel pretty good about how we're doing in the East. We're not worried about that no more. Now it's about seeding, brother. So,
you got to remember, too, coming off a bye, sometimes teams are a little rusty.
True.
So it might be a good thing that we have the Raiders coming off the bye. That way we just get things tightened up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And look, we could say that. Hopefully the Dolphins are not sleeping on the Raiders, but you're right. It's good that we're coming off because, hey, you know what? We got a tough matchup next week.
Yeah.
Black Friday against the Jets. You and I both, we've touched on that game. You know how I feel about the game. So Miami needs to be strong here so they can hopefully go in hot against the Jets and be ready to go and get that, hopefully, 8th win on the season. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk Raiders,
way,
brother.
Dude, you're getting way.
Let's talk Raiders.
The ride's going off the rails, man. Take it easy, Bobby.
Man, let me ask you, Fish Tank. Right now, the Dolphins, they're the 4th seed in the AFC.
Yeah.
They're the number 1 team in the AFC East, 4th seed in the AFC. This stretch, like I said, the second half of the season is so freaking important in regards to seeding. Miami getting home field advantage, in which, again, Miami does really well at home. Again, I think they're undefeated at home. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but they have a winning record at home. You want to have that home field advantage going into the playoffs. This is why this stretch is so important, because you look at the next set of games for Miami. You got the Raiders. You got the Jets. We know how we feel about the Jets. The Titans. You know how we talked about the Titans. The only team, when I was saying this on East 10th Street, boys, the only team when I look at our remaining schedule, yes, sticking to what I had before the season about predicted losses. Thank you, Julian. I appreciate you, brother. Chef Jude coming in the clutch, 4-0 at home this season so far. But,
right on.
11-6 at the season. The predicted losses that had to be for the season was the Ravens, the Cowboys, and forgetting the Jets at Black Friday, splitting the season with the Jets. That was before the season. However, if you're looking at this schedule at the remaining of the year, Fish Tank, the only game I'm really concerned with going forward, really, when I look at the schedule, I'm going, man, that's the only game, dude, that I'm like, is Baltimore. That's it. The other games, I'm not as. I
thought you were a realist.
I am. No, and again, that's why I said my predicted schedule. But realistic, when you're looking at the schedule, what other, really?
Our last 3 games aren't going to be a cakewalk. Our last
Cowboys, Ravens, Buffalo.
You got the Cowboys, Ravens, and Buffalo. Those are going to be. Those are our 3 hardest games left. Now
at the end, which is very important.
We dropped. Think of it this way: we dropped 3 the first half of the season. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now our hardest 3. Before, our hardest 3 were the Bills, the Eagles, and the Chiefs. Now it's the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills at home.
See, that's why I'm not going to sleep on Buffalo. But the Buffalo Bills at home,
we're looking good.
But that's why, you see, let me just tell you, but that's why. Okay, don't get me wrong. I told you, my predicted losses. I know yours. We've talked about that. We'll retouch that as the season goes on. But Cowboys, they're at home. Okay?
Yeah.
In Miami. Buffalo is in Miami. Yes. Baltimore is in Baltimore. That's why that's the only one where I'm like, So look, tell me, Fish Tank, how important, though, you know how I feel about this, but I want to hear from you, boss. How important is this stretch, the second half stretch for Miami to win these games? As many games as possible. How important?
This is it, man. They got to step it up. They got to at least win 4 of the next 5. How's that?
True. You can't.
They got. I mean, if they want to be real contenders, they got to win 4 of the next 5. So, and after that, we know what the schedule, what lays in front of us after that. And that's those 3 teams we just mentioned.
Absolutely. And you got to win, if you could win 1 of those games or 2 of those games against those top teams, you're going to feel pretty damn good. If Miami could
win 1 and take the bye, you win 1 and take the bye.
Well, first,
you take your rest against the Bills.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, as I said on East 10th Street, boys, when we were looking at the schedule and kind of playing, I kept my prediction, my predicted record from beginning of the year, Fish Tank. How I did it was I kept it 11-6. I kept the official prediction, and we went over every game. But then I said, let me show you how Miami can still get 11-6. Miami was still the number 1 team in the AFC East, and they were still the 4th seed, which is fine. We go into it. We're not falling into playoffs. We're going to the playoffs. It's a different team. It's a different vibe for Miami. Here's the difference.
Totally different, because we're sitting there counting off games we can probably win.
Yep.
I mean, I see us getting at least 4 of the next 5, and by saying that, I'm sitting there saying we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's the first time. I mean, again, I don't want to jinx it, knock on wood, whatever, but this is really the first time you could legitimately say, man, we're getting there, baby. We're gonna be like Julian saying, AFC champs. And let me just say, I hate the Jets. They're sorry ass Jets. They're the team I hate the most, the green. But I'm gonna have on the next pregame show, we're gonna have one of our resident Jet fans from the network on that show. But yeah, he knows I can't stand the Jets. He can't stand the Dolphins. It'll be a good show next week.
Bobby, let me interrupt you for a second. Why don't you mention our sponsor, man? Why don't you give our sponsor a joust?
Oh yeah. Hey, I was just finding out about them. They're going to the Canes game. And talking about Canes, look at our new spot, Finstock Sports Network. Our sponsor is Caneswear. Dolphin fans, look, if you are living South Florida, if you want some Dolphins gear, you got to go to Caneswear, okay? Or you're going to the game. If let's say you're traveling down to Florida and you don't have gear, you want to look like Fish Tank Hank, you want to look like his Corvette, you want to go styling and profiling, you got to go to Caneswear. They got great stuff. They got a good sale right now for Thanksgiving. They like 20%, something like that. You got to go to their Twitter. But Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. Okay, they're open from Sunday to Saturday. From let's see here, 11 to 5, 10 to 7. You can also, if you don't live in Florida though, and let's say, man, I'm not going to the game, but I really want gear, or I want that deal, or hey, you know what? I don't live in Florida. I live in Texas or Delaware or wherever. Caneswear.com. You could shop there. You could order from there. They ship everywhere. If you go over $100, shipping is free. So www.caneswear.com or go to their location, Caneswear, 2655 South University Drive, Davie, Florida. Dolphins Thirsty. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to dolphinsthirsty.com. He's in the house.
Rob. We got Alan Dino's in the house. Ender's in the house. Everybody's in the house today. Chef's in the house. Come on, guys. Who do we want to win? Let's see. Yeah. Let's talk about it, Bobby. What do we got going on?
So, again, like I said, this second stretch is very important. I have no doubt we're getting into playoffs. I don't think anybody does right now. I don't want to jinx it, but the first time I don't feel that there's any kind of – we're not going to fall in like last year. We're not going to fall in like the year before.
We're not sitting there hoping that we get to 10. We have a good feeling we will get to 10.
We're getting there. We're going to be in the play. What's important now for me, what I'm saying is now what's important is the seeding, because those are the matchups. You want that home field advantage. You want to beat people coming to Hard Rock. If you can get – there's a chance for the number 1 seed. There's a chance for the numbers to the second seed. Of course, Kansas City needs to drop a game or two. Miami has to win their games. Baltimore could lose a few. It's very, of course, but Miami still has that shot as long as they take care of business. So it's very important. It's a great time to be a Dolphin fan. It's a great time to be a Miami sports fan. I mean, the Marlins, the Heat are doing really good. They're the 3rd seed right now in the conference. The Panthers, it's all great, but nothing better than being a Dolphins fan. Where's Evan? Great show last night. It was a good show. Fish Tank Hank and Evan Stanza with the bandwagon were on last night.
Stanza, we were having a good time. My son.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, tomorrow's game. A lot to talk about. Obviously, Dolphins coming off a bye. Ramsey, another week getting better, healthy. Hopefully the offensive line feeling a little better after that Kansas City game. Everybody's coming back after that loss. You kind of take that loss off your back now. You're looking at the second half. But the biggest storyline of this game, besides obviously winning, because that's the most important thing, don't matter whatever else happens, Devon Achane. Achane is coming back. Robbie Chosen got released. Hopefully he signs back to the practice squad. That's what they're saying. But Achane is on his way back. I mean, look, the Dolphins' number 1 offense in the NFL, almost in every category, Fish Tank. Total offense, passing, scoring, rushing offense is tied for 2nd place. First off, what's up, Ralphie boy? Happy birthday.
Gotta wish a happy birthday out there.
Yeah, my daughter, my oldest. It's her birthday. Audrey, she's 11 years old today, Fish Tank.
Happy birthday, Audrey, from us to you.
That's
Of
right.
course.
Yes. My baby girl's 11 years old, man. The years fly by
growing
quick,
up
brother.
fast, almost a teenager.
Dude, I was just saying yesterday. I said
did I say that dirty word at you? She's almost a teenager.
So slow it down there, Chief. I'm just saying. I was just talking about that yesterday. I said, look, man, what happened? How fast? You know, the time where I used to walk through the door and my daughter would run to me and hug me and love me and laugh at every stupid joke, everything I did. She laughed at everything. She was attached to my hip, my best friend, everything. Now she walks to the door. Now it's a side hug. Now it's a when I make a joke, it's like, dude, you know. What's up, Steve? Oh man, thank you guys. She'll love to see that. But hey, look, Devon Achane is coming back. Dolphins are number one offense, but I've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen the difference without Achane. I've seen how the offense kind of stalls out. Mozart needs to get back to his role of between running and receiving. I think Achane is going to put, even though this offense is number one, it can't go any higher. I think you're going to see a different type of offense in the second half of the season. What you saw with him in the first part, think about what it's going to do for us in the second half of the season.
Yeah, we've been missing players too, Bobby. So, you know, that offensive line has been hodgepodge.
Absolutely.
And they've been doing a great job with it. So don't get me wrong, but they've been just plugging and playing. And now we have Eichenberg at the right guard. How do you feel about that?
You know, just what I just did right there.
Yeah.
You know, say your prayers, take your vitamins.
There are still things going on.
Absolutely. No doubt. But listen, you know, obviously the offensive line did not do well at all last at the bye week but against the Chiefs. You know, they struggled against the Kansas City defense, which is probably the best defense in football, even though they're ranked, I think, third. They're very good, that defense with Chris Jones and company, no doubt. Okay,
well,
and they did
Crosby on the other side for the Raiders.
For the Raiders, there's no joke there.
No joke.
No, Miami. You know, but I gotta hope. And Butch Berry, to me, coaching MVP so far for Miami. What he's done with that offensive line, with his limited assets as he's had, with those injuries, I trust that he'll have this team ready going against the Raiders. And the Raiders, again, Raiders,
and that's why the bye was so great, Bobby. That's why I love this bye right now. It's perfect timing.
Let me just tell you, because your point is right on. And thank you, Chef Mozart. Cap was saying that Raheem is limited. Omar Kelly says he's still hurting. Mozart has to stop fumbling the ball. That's true, Chef. And I think Achane's going to help with that. And I want to touch on Achane in just a second, but Fishney just brought up a great point. The Raiders defense, 18th in the NFL right now, the 8th passing defense in the NFL. That's big for Miami. Miami has to, you know, they're good at, they're 8th in the NFL, 135 yards averaged against them. Rushing defense, they're 29th. Achane and Mozart, they should have a field day, hopefully. Scoring defense, they're 13th. Sacks, they're 13th. Fish Tank, they had 26 sacks. They're 13th in 2 games. They've had 8 sacks and 16 quarterback hits in the last 2 games, which they've won. They beat the Jets and the Giants. Okay, so you're absolutely right. Offensive line, I'm not worried about those 2 teams. Those teams. What I'm saying is you're right. Our offensive line has a test tomorrow. Miami has to stop that. They have to protect the quarterback. But Achane,
just the way that we're put together right now. That's all I'm saying. We're not.
I got you.
We're not at full strength by any stretch of the imagination.
No. But we're getting there. But let me ask you this: how much of an impact do you think Devon Achane is going to have on this offense going forward? Do you think it's going to be that big of I think it will. It's going to help Mozart. It's going to help him with the fumbling. It's going to help the offense start to balance itself out now. You know, you think about this. The Raiders are the 8th passing defense in the NFL. They're good at stopping the pass. Of course, our offensive passing game is strong, but they're 8th. So Miami might have to rely on the run. This is the game they could do that. How big of an impact Achane's going to have going forward?
Oh, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. It opens everything up. You add that double backfield with speed, you know. Mozart, you know, you get him back there, you could still, like I was telling Evan last night. You know, you split those 2 backs out wide with the wide receivers. Who's covering who? Who you got? I mean, it's funny. You know, just to think the different formations and the different sets that they can come up with having him in there because of that speed. and he's doing a great job. I mean, he was running all over everybody until, he got hurt. But they say, it was precautionary for some of it that they kept him out that long. Well, that's good. But, if he was fine for the Kansas City game, you should have played him if that was the case. So that's just my opinion.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on the other side. For me, with that game there, Miami being sick, they were 6-2 at that point. Miami could have felt, as Evan felt, most of us felt going into that game that, hey, Dolphins traveled there first. Miami has lost the last 2 games in regards of measuring stick games. Maybe they thought, hey, we have a better chance on this one. And then it worked out their way. Miami got smacked in the mouth by Big Brother in the AFC. But that happens. Doesn't mean Miami's 6-3. They're still they're fourth in the AFC, number 1 in the East. They have a good spot here. Now you're going into the second half with a completely healthy Achane. Mozart needs it. Again, he's hurting. This is going to help relieve him. Yep. Tyreek and Waddle. Waddle's doing better after a bye week. There's a lot of hurt players. And I agree. Butch Berry has done a great job with what he's had. Eichenberg played guard, tackle, and center. That's why, he's playing right guard. Yeah. I mean, when you hear Eichenberg is playing any starting position on the offensive line, everyone gets nervous. But, you got to have faith in our coaching staff that has faith in this player and hope that he plays well. And it's going to be a huge test.
Yeah. When you hear the coaches saying that these players are improving, and they clearly said that Eichenberg was improving. They also said Jackson was improving. We haven't had huge problems with Jackson this year either. So,
no,
I rely on what the coaches say, what the coaches tell us, but that's all to an extent because they're only going to tell you so much also. You know what I mean. There's some things they have to keep close to the hip and all that. Just because if they don't, people will blow things out of proportion and then they'll be questioned over and over again, So they just try to hold some of that back for those reasons. But other than that, I go by what the coaches say. If they say these players are doing a great job in practice, well, that means that usually 9 out of 10 times they're going to be putting that same product on the field game day. So I'm happy. I'm happy with who we have. Would I like Robert Hunt back? Absolutely, but that's not going to be the case.
No, it's not. Let's take a look at, or let's discuss who the experts are taking in this game, quote unquote experts. Let me pull this up here.
So-called experts.
That's right. Well, let me just make sure. Do I see any?
I'll tell you how good I am, Bobby. I'm 6-3 right now. I'm 6-3.
There you go.
How's that for a score?
There you go. The everybody. Pete Prisco, Will Brenson, Jared Dubin, CBS Sports, Ryan Wilson, CBS Sports, all of ESPN, Mike Florio, Chris Sims of PFT, Pro Football Talk, Ali Bonpori of NFL.com, Tom Blair, NFL.com, everyone from NFL.com basically has the Dolphins winning this football game. And I think the Dolphins are I thought it was 13.5 points up on the positive. On the score at 13-point favorites. Could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me, but if somebody has it, the betting line or whatever it is, they could let us know. Let me take a look here, make sure I'm not missing anything, Fish Tank.
No. Why?
There we go. Okay, I don't see anything there. All right, let's see. Yes, thank you, Ralphie boy. Yeah, man, I everybody was having fun and got a cool dolphin there. I'm excited about that cool dolphin I was able to generate, and now I'm using him, and I'm excited about him. Like 72 for the 72 champions. So hopefully that's some good luck. That's the one I was telling you, Ralph, this morning about what I was doing because everybody's messing with these AI things, Fish Tank, and I was like, let me try this out. So I started playing around. I got all these cool things. I got a new logo, and I was like messing around, and I got that dolphin pop up. I was like, oh, shoot, this is legit. So that's our new thing there. I love him. I think he's so cool. Okay, Rob, thank you. Rob confirms 13.5 points favorites for Miami, which, again, let's look at the last 5 games for the Raiders because we know the Dolphins. Well, let's revisit the Dolphins first. We know what happened before the bye. They lost to Kansas City 21-14, beat New England 31-17, lost to Philly 31-17, beat Carolina 42-21, beat the Giants 31-16. They are averaging overall this season, Fish Tank, about 32 points a game, 31.7. Miami's offense, 31 points per game.
That's
or
funny.
32.
That's funny. You know why?
Why?
Because that's close to my score that I have in my head for this game.
Oh, really? Well, let's not spoil it yet. Hold on. And I'm with you, though. I'm with you. The Raiders, the last 5 games, Fish Tank, they beat the Jets last week, 16-12.
Yeah.
They beat the Giants, 30-6. Lost to Detroit, 26-14. Lost to the Bears, 30-12. And beat New England, 21-17. So far, I don't know if they played Buffalo yet. But so they're 2-0 in the East, at least here at this part. 16-12 against the Jets, which we hope Miami could have a win against the Jets next week going forward. Miami beat the Patriots. We're not worried about that. The Raiders are averaging 27 points a game. So their offense. Let's see here. And they're giving up.
That's interesting, Bobby.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. The rankings are different here. I'm sorry.
27.
No, they're 27th in the NFL. They gave up 17. They're scoring 17, averaging 17 points a game. I apologize.
I was about to say that's.
Yeah, no, they're not. No, sorry.
I was about to say something's off there, Bob.
The whatever this is flipped. So
right.
Miami is first in the NFL in scoring. They're averaging about 31.7 points a game. And Raiders are 27th in scoring. They're averaging 17. Okay. The Dolphins scoring, make sure I have it here. Scoring defense. They're scoring defense. Is that how many points they're giving up?
I think you're getting too caught up in there, Bobby.
No, this is how it helped. I do this throughout the thing, but this right here is the way they have this here is messed up. Anyway, but those are the numbers right there. Again, the Raiders defense, 8th in the NFL and all passing defense, 18th overall, and 29th in rushing defense. The running game is going to be very important in this game. But okay, Fish Tank.
Yes, sir.
Your 3 keys to secure a Miami Dolphins victory tomorrow.
3 keys. First key is you have got to stop and contain Crosby.
True.
You have to keep him minimized with this offensive line. You have got to keep him minimized. That'll free things up for the run game. That'll give Tua that extra time that he needs. So much can happen. That's the first key. The second key is our wide receivers have to make plays. They have to get off the line and make plays, whether they're being bumped or not. They need to work through that and make some advances in that area. That's my second key. My third key is our defensive front needs to show up and play a complete game. They need to show up and make it happen. We haven't seen a lot of I don't know how to put it. We haven't seen a lot of sacks. We've seen a lot of close calls. I could tell you that. But that close calls aren't going to get it. You know what I mean? Horseshoes, hand grenades, and a few other things out there. So we got to get a little bit better in that area if we're going to actually capitalize in this game. So I think our defensive line is going to control and contain, and that will be our third key.
There you go. I will say, let's see here. Miami's sacks right now. Miami's defense is quietly, in regards of sacks, has gone up. Fish Tank. They've 29 sacks this season. They're 9th in the NFL. So hopefully they could bring that in this game and going forward.
That's what I'm saying. I think that they can, and that's going to be a key in this game because I want to see Miami just shut these guys down. If we're half as good as people say we are, let's shut them down. That's what I'm trying to say.
You want a shutout? You love to see a shutout.
Not necessarily a shutout. You know, keep them 3 scores or under.
That's fair. All right. So, and I like that too. I like that. All right. For me, keys to victory. You talked about the defense. My number one is statement game from this defense. Okay. This is the 31st ranked offense in the NFL. There's no reason why, and Miami's 9th in sacks.
Yeah.
There's no reason why Miami cannot have a strong statement game type performance against the Raiders tomorrow afternoon.
Absolutely.
This should be a statement game from the defense.
Yes.
Something you brought up earlier, and it was a note here from this week that I had here, protecting the quarterback. You got Max Crosby. You got this Raiders defense. Okay, they're 13th in the NFL, tied for sacks, 26 sacks total so far in 2 games. Like I said, Fish Tank, they have 8 sacks and 16 quarterback hits. Our offensive line, who struggled 2 weeks ago, has to do better tomorrow against this defensive line.
Outside of Crosby, who's making those plays?
Not sure. I don't have that in front of me, but
well, that's what I'm saying. He's a big part of that.
Absolutely.
We have to definitely short stick this guy and keep him, contained.
Absolutely. And then the other one for me, Fish Tank, the third one is for Miami is protect the football, win the turnover battle. Tua is 8th in the NFL in interceptions. He has in turnovers. 7 interceptions in the 9 games, 8 interceptions in 13 games last season. He has 7 interceptions in 9 games. He's been struggling with that. He needs to protect the football, and that starts with the offensive line in regards of keeping guys off of him, give him some time, but don't let Tua get flustered and kind of protect the ball. Do not give the Raiders the game. Win that turnover battle. Let's see a couple turnovers from our defense, and let's have no turnovers for our offense, and that would be perfect.
I want to see us get ahead and ride the run. That's what if you ask me what our perfect game plan would be, get ahead, a couple touchdowns, and just run it. Run it and run it and run it.
And that's my what do you call? I don't know if what's that called when they honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
An honorable mention I have here. I wanted to put 4, but I put honorable mention. Is get Achane involved, run the ball. This is the rushing defense for the Raiders sucks. They're 29th in the NFL right now. Miami's rushing offense, 2nd in the NFL. You're getting your lead your rookie back, who's a stellar back so far. Again, in the games that he played, Fish Tank, he had 38 carries, 460 yards, 5 touchdowns, and he averaged 12.1 yards per carry. Okay.
Hey, I don't do this too often, but let me tell you, he's doing a nice job, but so's the offensive line making holes.
Absolutely. No, the offensive line and the running game. And
offensive line, considering how it's put together, has been doing an amazing job.
Absolutely. I expect Mozart and Achane to have a blockbuster game tomorrow.
I couldn't agree more. Like I said, I think we're going to get ahead and just run it.
Yeah, I think Achane and Mozart are going to have a blockbuster game. I hope Tyreek gets his numbers. I want Tyreek to get his goal, 2,000. It's been fun. But again, I think that tomorrow's going to be the Mozart Achane game in regards of running.
It only takes 2 passes for him to get his 100 and something yards.
That's true. That's true.
Don't worry about him. He'll get two
He'll
passes.
get it. He'll get it. No worries. All right, Fish Tank. Here we go. We got our hats on already. We got the, prediction time. You said that the Dolphins average scoring offense in regard, what they average 31.7, 32 points a game. What's your game? Well, who obviously we know who you're saying is going to win. Spoiler, fins up.
Yeah.
What's the final score for tomorrow's game?
Well, I think Miami's going to walk away with 35 points.
Okay.
On this average that they have. I think they're going to come away with 35. They're going to come in with the over. And I think that I really want Miami to keep them to 3, but I think they're going to get 4 scores, unfortunately.
Okay.
And I think it'll be 24-35.
Okay. Not far off for me. Not far at all. I have Dolphins 31, Raiders 21.
Okay,
10,
yeah.
10.
We're
So
right
not
there.
far off. Yeah, not far off at all. So there you go.
Shorted us a little bit, but that's all right.
I think we're at the average. I'm at the average. Aladino.
You took the easy average.
Aladino has it 38-20 Miami.
Right on.
Chef Drew has 35-17, the greatest show on surf for the win. Yeah. Ralphie boy. Ralph has it 42-10. I love it.
Woo.
Love it. Hammer time. 34-17.
Oh, everybody's coming in. All
That's right. I love it.
I'm in Alice. Let us know.
There you go. All right. So let's see here. Make sure I got everything.
Chris, where are you at? What do you got, Chris?
Rob, get in there, Chris. There you go. 27-14. Okay. All right. So, hey, you know what? It's not crazy. I see Dolphins. They're kind of moderating themselves now. I love the scores. I feel pretty damn good right now. It's looking really good. Fish Tank has it 35-24. I have it 31-21 Miami. Let's see. Hammer Chime is changing 27-14.
Whoa.
Okay. Took a few points off. He took a few points off. Okay, that's okay.
To change.
Win is a win. I don't know if Rob is still in the house. I thought he had a score the other day. I'm not sure. Make sure I have everything here.
Thirsty 28-13.
There you go. Dolphins 28-13. Love it. Baltimore
that sounds
won.
like a good defensive game right there for somebody.
That's right. That would be huge for us.
I love it.
Let me see here. I want to have this for this week. Games to watch. Obviously, Baltimore beat Cincinnati. We would have helped. Cincinnati would have won that game at least for that game to help our cause. But Joe Burrow's out for the year. Tough freaking walk. Cincinnati was just getting on that run.
I was just answering a poll that somebody had done on Twitter.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, well, who's going to take one of the places right now? And I said, well, I actually think the Bengals will take the Steelers spot. Then Joey goes down. That ain't going to happen now.
No, that's a tough pill, my man. We talked about this very quick earlier about the Miami's race to one of the top seeds, maybe two or one, maybe three. I've changed the score a few times, but I always have Miami coming to the top. Yeah, that's okay, Rob. I know how it is. We get the look and we see what's going on around the league. We see what's going on with the Raiders and the Dolphins. Scores update. It's not until right before the start of the game where you go, okay, this is my final. Let's see, Fish Tank, the games to watch tomorrow. Obviously, besides Miami to pay attention to, you got the Steelers versus the Browns. Both teams are 6-3. Texans are 5-4. Man, I hope the Titans upset the Jaguars. I hope that goes down tomorrow. That would be good for Miami. Obviously, Miami needs to win that one.
I figured that Kansas City's going to lose to the Eagles.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, the reason I'll tell you what too. I mean, it is at Arrowhead. It's going to be a tough game. However, Super Bowl rematch. Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Usually, the team that lost the Super Bowl wins the rematch. I'm going with the Eagles too, and I hope that happens. That'll be great for Miami. If the
just saying, we could have another great weekend.
I'm telling you, Miami just has to do their job, and I can see it playing out. Let me ask you this, Fish Tank.
Yes,
Jets 4-5 versus the Buffalo Bills. We got the Jets next week. You know, I'm not really worried about either of them. However, you know, man, who do you think's going to win that game?
I think the Bills will pull it off.
Okay.
I mean, they still have they
do.
You know, you got Zach Wilson for the Jets. Come on.
Well, I will say the Jets defense is no joke. We know that. You and I, first of all, I want to give, we love patting ourselves on the back. But you and I, couple drafts ago, talked about the Jets draft, and we talked about, everybody's laughing at them 2 seasons ago off season because they couldn't get Tyreek and whatever, but their draft is really showing off right now. Sauce Gardner and company, Garrett Wilson, whatever. Look what those guys were able to do when Aaron Rodgers went down. Everybody thought, oh, the Jets, it's funny, they don't have no chance. They're 4-5. They're sneaking up.
Yeah.
So that's why next week is kind of like, it's like, okay, this is going to be a game, but I'm going to roll with you. Maybe Buffalo, they lost last week. Maybe they catch a win here. But Miami, we want to see the Chiefs lose. We got to see the Ravens. The Ravens won, so that sucks. So next week we'll worry about that. And then the Jaguars. So root for the Titans, root for the Eagles, and who gives a crap about the freaking Buffalo Jets game. But Fishing, any final thoughts, my friend?
No. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Like Chris is saying, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there that enjoys and celebrates it and eats lots of food. I wish I could eat half of the food that we have for Thanksgiving, but I can't. I'll get to smell it.
There you go.
Well, then I eat a lot of turkey. I just stack the turkey up. Just keep eating turkey.
There you go. I can't wait. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Of course, we'll see you more, I will probably see you more throughout the week. But
yeah,
happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Folks. But I just wanted to say it on here
for sure.
Chris was mentioning. I didn't want to leave it out.
Absolutely. I have Alex, who hosts Fast Break, my my best friend who I grew up with, who we do East Central. He's driving up Fish Tank. He's driving up today. He's actually going to stop in Georgia. Then he'll be here tomorrow and spend the week for Thanksgiving. So we'll do a live show from here, maybe my patio. But I'm very excited about that.
Right on.
And tomorrow, we got pregame, postgame, guys.
If I knew you were letting people stay at your place for free, I would have drove over there a while ago and been staying for a while.
Well, he's staying at a hotel. He's staying at a hotel. But, I don't know if I don't have that type of room. That's why he's staying at the hotel. But, hey, you know what? If you ever want to take a drive and stay at a hotel, man, I'd love to welcome you here and hang out and
what
all
do you
that.
Mean stay in a hotel?
Yeah, I can't about it. Ain't no room here, boy. Ain't no room.
You got a shed.
Oh, that's true. I do. Oh, my bad. I can lay a what do you call it, a sleeping bag out for you and Kelly.
Yeah, just take the stuff out of the shed. Get one of those old style cots that open up, so I'm not on the ground at least.
There you go. Oh man. So again, guys, tomorrow join us at 11 a.m. Eastern for the Miami Dolphins pregame show. We'll talk about the inactives. We'll get everybody else's thoughts, and we'll get prepped for the NFL week. And, of course, postgame tomorrow night. Evan may or may not join me tomorrow. I know he said he hasn't let me know yet, but I know for sure he was driving his kid around, so we'll figure that out. And before my show, obviously, you can go to Dolphins Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Catch Rob and Steve with their pregame show on Dolphins Thursday YouTube channel. Is Alex going to watch the game with you? I don't know about Sunday. I know it's on and off. I don't know if he'll be here at time and all that. I know that's why tomorrow we were going to start a little earlier pregame show because Evan's running all around, but I'm running around as well, just getting ready. So we 11 o'clock. But next
I'm gonna go
Friday night. Friday night he will. Friday afternoon we'll watch the game, the Jets game together. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Fish Tank.
I'm gonna go over to the airport today and see what the parking's like and all that for the Brightline and scope it out so that I know where I'm going tomorrow and don't have any problems.
Oh goodness gracious! Yeah. What? So you're gonna do that today? What time are you leaving tomorrow? In the morning?
Tomorrow the train leaves at like 8:30.
Okay. All right. I think the walking is the one that for me for you for me is what concerns me for you. But other than that, I think what's great is that it's you're gonna get to kind of chill out. You can look at your phone, do whatever. You don't have to worry about driving and people on the road and shit stuff. So sorry, oopsie daisy, oopsie daisy. Break reverse. That's why I always tell my kids I would take 2 steps back and kind of like, yeah.
They don't know what rewind is anymore.
No, they don't. No, they just skip, select scene, But oh man. Anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, join us tomorrow, the Fit Talk Sports Network, for the pregame show and postgame show tomorrow night. Like, subscribe, most importantly, fins up.
Fins up.